Hi, I'm the CEO of Themis AI, the future of fair artificial intelligence. Our connection to MIT is Themis AI is an MIT CSAIL spinoff. All the founders are MIT students, and we have Professor Daniela Roos, the head of CSAIL, also as our founder. So the problem that we're trying to tackle is with the rise of using AI and machine learning, there comes the challenges that especially in data. For example, if the data that you're using to train your model has an overrepresented group and underrepresented group, your goal is to train a model that performs equally well on all of these groups. However, with the current methods that are out there, if you just use this data that is not fairly distributed, then your model ends up performing much better on the overrepresented data than underrepresented data. We were able to develop a technology that we can understand the distribution of the data and then use that to sample training input such that the model ends up seeing fairly of all the distribution in your model and be able to learn this distribution and perform fairly on all of these groups. Our technology got a lot of international press coverage, as being able to actually mitigate this bias is not an easy problem. In Themis AI, we provide end-to-end debiasing product to companies that use AI in their decision-making pipeline. Our technology is industry agnostic, and we have a global focus to be able to help anybody who has this issue to mitigate this bias. Our end-to-end debiasing product helps our customer to understand where the bias is coming from, mitigate it during training, and ultimately certify their model once it's trained. So, imagine that you want to train a model to perform a task for you. The first step is for you to understand how your data is distributed. Where are the underrepresented, overrepresented groups in your data? What are the areas that you need to be aware of when you're training your data? The second step is actually training. So now that you know that your data is not fairly distributed, how can you train your model to still be performing equally well on all of your data, both the easy parts of your data and the challenging parts? And third, you have a trained model, but you're not sure if that model should be used publicly for you to make decisions based off of, or whether you can use it to make decisions about human life. And that's the third part that we can help you and certify your model that whether it's performing fairly on all the groups in your data set. For example, let's imagine this case study that you want to develop an AI to help you identify which applicants are qualified for a loan or not. And the data you're using is historical data. And we know that this historical data captures the social biases that we've had in the past. But you want to still be able to have a model that can accurately and fairly predict applicants. But the hard thing is because your data is not fairly distributed, then you can't actually predict accuracy on all of the data. And this will result in loss of revenue. So our work is, we have published works in proving that our debiasing technology is able to improve the accuracy of models, which can result in higher revenue for many cases. What we're asking is, we're looking to partner with global companies that are using AI and they want to improve the accuracy and robustness of their models. We're here to help them understand the distribution of their data, optimize their models on the challenging parts of the data, and ultimately ensure fairness of their AI models. Please feel free to contact me at the email here, and I can answer any questions.
Thank you, Elaheh. How does your technology actually work?
Mm-hmm. So basically, we extract features from a data set and we understand the distribution of all of these features. For example, let's have a case of you want to train a model to identify whether in an image there is faces or not. But the data that you're using is like it has much more faces of lighter skinned people than darker skinned people. And when you use that to train a model, your model ends up performing much better on the lighter skin faces than darker skin. But that's become problematic when you using that model to perform tasks on like in daily life. And that's where we're able to help and understand like, okay, these are the like latent features, for example, the color of skin, and our model is able to train our technology is able to train AI models to perform equally well on all of these like skin colors.
Got it. And one other question. So most AutoML platforms like DataRub, Robot H20, etc., have some tools that detect bias and also help tune them over time.
Mm-hmm.
How do you consider some of these companies? Are they competitors? Can you work together? What's unique about Themis AI?
Yeah, so we're the third party company that we're like so if you're solving this problem in house, you still have some biases because you're very used to like what you've been working on. So we're this third eye company that we help you from this outsider point of view identify what are these all of these like cases that you need to make sure that you're being fair, and also help you both mitigate it and also ensure the fairness of your model from a third person perspective.